Zdravo ljudi, kako ste? Serbian Easter is soon, so today I'm going to show you how to dye eggs in a traditional way. Before we start with that, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more videos about the Serbian language and culture. This is what you will need if you want to dye eggs in a Serbian traditional way. First, you will need a pot, then of course you will need eggs. Here I have 10 eggs. You can either use the white ones or like the brownish ones, it doesn't really matter. I personally prefer the white ones because when the eggs are dyed, the pattern is nicer. Also, you will need some tights. I used some old tights. It doesn't really matter if you use like the black ones or the nude ones. It's important that they don't have any pattern on them because if they do, they will leave like marks on the egg. Also, you will need some plants. Like some leaves of the plants. I have at home parsley, so I used it. We say in Serbian peršun. I also used some mint because I also have it at home. We say nana in Serbian. And the rest of the plants I simply took from outside. So for example, I took some leaves as well, and I took some bela rada, daisy, and this is maslačak. This is actually a great activity that you can do with the kids. You just go outside and pick some leaves together, and then you can dye the eggs together. Also, you will need some water to help the leaves stick better to the egg. Also, you will need a thread. I'm using a yellow one because in everyday life I don't use it so much, but you will use it to tie up the tights. And the start of this traditional method is the onion skin. So this bag of onion skin was basically made throughout the year. I wasn't so diligent, but fortunately I have my mother-in-law, so she decided to give me this bag. In some countries where you have a lot of Balkan people, sometimes you can also buy a bag of onion skin at the supermarket, so make sure to check it out. First, we'll prepare the pot. Just put the onion skin on the bottom. The goal is that when you put the eggs inside, they are well coated with the onion skin, so when you start cooking, the dye will be released and the eggshells will be colored. Alright, so let's start. I recommend bigger eggs because when you put the leaves on it, the image will be better. When you take the leaf, you should put the back side on the egg, like this. Let's soak it a little bit. Now, when you take this piece of tight, put the egg inside and place the knot on the leaf. Now, we need to tie the egg as much as we can. Be careful about it so it doesn't crack up. You can try making a knot again, but I'm not so capable of doing that, so I will just put the thread. If you don't have a thread, you can also use rubber rings, like the ones that you use for jars, for example. Alright, so it's quite tied up. Just to be sure everything is good, I will put this rubber ring as well. Alright, so the first one is done. Let's do the rest. If you're taking a flower, so of course facing down. So the knot is on the flower. Be careful that the egg doesn't crack. The back side of the leaf goes on the egg. Make sure that the tights are thin. Let's put the knot on the leaf. I will use the rubber one now. And to be honest, sometimes it's easier than the thread. All right, perfect. All right, so this is how much it can fit in my pot. Expect that some eggs might crack simply while you're trying to tie them up. It's just safer to always buy more eggs than you can expect. To me, it often happens, I don't know, if I buy 30 eggs, that maybe at the end of the day, after cooking, after doing everything, maybe I had 20 of them. So, all right, so now we need to coat on the top side, so eggs need to be tucked in. Okay, so let's now go to the kitchen and start boiling the eggs. We are ready to boil these eggs. It's important that all eggs are completely underwater. All right, so let's start boiling. If you feel that now that you poured water, there is like not enough onion skin, in Serbian we say lukovina, you can simply add more. Some people also put a spoon of vinegar, so the color sticks better to the eggs, but I won't do that now. It really depends on the onion skin. When you bring it to boil, da proključa in Serbian, put it on medium heat. As you can see, the water is already being like brown reddish. Boil the eggs around 15 to 20 minutes max. You can even cover the pot, šerpa, with a lid, poklopac. Alright, so it's already cooking like around 10 minutes. Let's check how the eggs are doing. Let's find an egg. It's like treasure hunt. Oh, looking good. See? Wow. Let's coat it again. Pokrijemo opet. And we still have 5 minutes to go. All right, 15 minutes are up. We'll take poklopac. The color is really looking good. And we will leave the eggs soaking for 30 minutes. All right, so 30 minutes are up. The eggs are really well soaked. Let's take them out. If you don't have time to do this right away, it's okay. You can leave the eggs more time in the liquid. Just don't take them out and leave them in the tights, because then this leaf will be impossible to remove. All right, so let's see it. Very nice color. Let's take the others out. Let's cut it up. All right, cool. Cool. And this is how they look. This one is with maslačak. This one was with bela rada, which is daisy. This one was with parsley. So great. So the more interesting pattern you have on the leaf, the better the image is. We will let the eggs cool down completely, maybe even overnight, and then tomorrow we will finish them up. It's the next day. The eggs are completely cooled down. As you can see, they look really, really beautiful. The patterns are really nice. All right, so the last step that we will do is put oil on them. So the idea of that is that basically by putting oil on them, they are more shiny, and also the color will be stronger. You will take some kitchen towel and put some oil on it. So don't put too much oil on them. We will take an egg and slowly brush it. You see how the color is a little bit stronger, and also the egg is shining. And that's it. All right, let me explain you what other traditions we have on Easter. On Easter, we always have this, let's call it battle of eggs. Tucanje jajima. It means that two people take an egg each and they battle with eggs. This means that, for example, one person hits the other person on their egg. We call the top of the egg špic, and the bottom part of the egg we call it šotka. The names of the parts of the egg can also depend on the region. Also, how we do this battle of eggs really depends on the family. So I will explain you how we do it in my family. Usually, one person holds the egg like this, and the other one comes and tries to hit the egg like this. So špic with špic. If this špic doesn't crack, then he tries with šotka. If this person, their egg cracked on both sides, then this person lost. This is always funny because people get really competitive. Some people like put like so small holes so the other person can basically not hit them. It's like hilarious. So as I said, you only lost if you have the egg cracked on both sides. If you have the egg cracked on one side and the person is like on both sides, then you go in the next round, so you can compete with another person. The goal of this battle is the last egg standing. Basically, like the egg that is whole or is just cracked on one side and there are no more eggs. That means that that egg won, and also the person, like the owner of the egg. Another important tradition that I want to tell you is that every year we must dye one egg like in a red color. This can be it, for example, or it can be like with artificial colors, like this one. This egg we don't use, so basically we always put it aside, and it's called čuvar kuća. Last year we didn't have like a holder for it, so we put it like in a shot for rakia, but disregard that, please. Čuvar kuća means that this egg keeps the house safe from like evil spirits and demons throughout the year. And when the year has passed, before it's replaced with a new egg, for example, usually families throw it in the river. Now, why in the river? Because it means that with the egg, also all the evil spirits or demons that this egg has attracted will also go away with the river. If you want to do this and have čuvar kuća at your home, be careful. Make sure that it's a whole egg so that it's not cracked somewhere, and that it doesn't crack in the meantime. Believe me, that is the worst smell that you can smell. And that's about it. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to know more about Serbian Easter traditions, make sure to check out our blog article in the description of this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to get more videos about Serbian. Do sljedećeg videa. Ćao!